Good morning from Tokyo. My name is Jason Downey, and this is a little bit of a different video from what I usually make. I'm an American living in Japan, living in Tokyo, and so most of my videos are about living abroad, living as an expat, introducing foreign cultures from the point of view of an American, but today's video is a public service announcement for my American viewers because next Tuesday, November 6th, is the 2018 midterm elections. These are incredibly important elections, so I've put together this video to encourage you, if you're an American, if you're registered to vote, to get out there and vote. If you're an American watching this video, then over the last several months you've heard about the importance of voting hundreds of times. But still, maybe some of you are on the fence. Maybe you're from such a deeply partisan area that the candidate you want to win barely stands a chance. Or maybe you don't feel properly represented by the platforms of either of the two parties. Or maybe you're just so disgusted with the state of national politics these days that you don't want to support either party with your vote. Well, I hear you. I'm from a small town in one of the most reliably Republican districts in the entire country, and I'm not a Republican, so that's been very frustrating for me over the years. And I know I don't speak just for myself when I say that American politics is at its most disgusting right now, and it's been ratcheting its way towards its current situation for most of my adult life. But abstaining isn't the answer. The problems that we are facing as a country right now will only be exacerbated by low voter turnout and political cynicism across society. There are people in real danger right now who can be helped by your vote. To make that case, let me take you to where I grew up, good old Kane, PA, in the heart of the Allegheny National Forest in Pennsylvania. Kane, which is part of McKean County, was, until recently, part of Pennsylvania's 5th Congressional District. To give you some idea of how red that district is, it has sent a Republican to the House of Representatives in Washington every election cycle since 1973. That's 45 years of a Republican PA 5th District. Now this year, Pennsylvania went through some redistricting, and PA 5 is now PA 15. The electoral makeup has changed a little bit. It still favors Republicans, but I've got a friend that I'd like to introduce you to. This friend is trying to turn the tide of electoral politics in that region of Pennsylvania. His name is James Heckman, and he and I went to middle and high school together. We haven't spoken face-to-face in years, but I want to talk to him now and get his impression of how important it is to vote next Tuesday. And let me...
Okay, can you see me now?
Oh yeah, there you are. Gotcha. I just want to give you a chance to introduce yourself, to talk about what you're doing, where you've come from and stuff like that. So,
Okay, I'm James Heckman. I'm the McKean County delegate for the Pennsylvania State Democratic Committee. By profession, I'm just a factory worker. The position I have with the party isn't paid. I really began to get active in the process. It was right after Trump was inaugurated. I remember Barack Obama, they flew him off on, I think it's called Marine One to help.
I remember that, yeah.
And then he went back to Chicago, and he gave a speech after. And one of the things he said was, I thought it was a very positive speech. I thought he was great. But one of the things he said was, look, if you're upset by what's going on, or what's about to go on, if you're upset with how the 2016 election went, he said, pick up a clipboard and do something about it. And I was just like, well, he's absolutely right. So just a few days later after that, I put my name in to run for Foster Township Supervisor. I ended up losing the race by, my opponent had 430, I had 155 votes. So I got shut up. But no, it was a straight up door-to-door campaign. I knocked over 1,000 doors.
Wow.
Spend 3-4 hours knocking doors. I do it on the weekends. I remember one Saturday I did it in a month too. But I met so many cool people too. I met a lot of Democrats who can knock their door and they're like, oh my gosh, there's other Democrats here, and there's one that's running for office. If anybody says your vote doesn't count, look at what's going on in Georgia.
Yeah. I mean, like, if it didn't count, they wouldn't be.
To make sure people's votes don't count.
Yeah, exactly.
They're putting to do it. They're putting resources into doing it. So anybody who tells me your vote doesn't count, look, people are paying big money not only to get your vote, but to get people off the voting list. And to me, anybody who says your vote doesn't count, you ask John Fetterman, Lieutenant Governor candidate for Pennsylvania. Ask him that your vote doesn't count. When he won his first mayor race in 2005, he won that race by a single vote.
Wow.
One person that day decided, no, I'm going to go out and vote today, and I'm going to vote for Fetterman. And now, here he is, in a pretty good position, I think, to become our next lieutenant governor. So, if you tell me your vote doesn't count, no, I just stood beside someone who's living proof that your vote does count. And if you really don't believe that, get in touch with me, and I'll show you example after example of, races where, you had, even statewide races, where millions of people are voting, where it's just decided by these hair-thin margins. And it is so important that people get the notion out of their head that my vote doesn't count. It does. It absolutely does. Are you aware of the redistricting of PA5?
I know that it happened. I followed the Supreme Court fight, but I don't know exactly what happened in terms of the lines and stuff.
Okay. The old PA5 is the new PA15.
15, right? Okay.
And it covers, I believe it's 14 counties. But here's the thing about PA15, and here's another reason for everybody, all you Democrats, to go out there and vote. PA15 is only 51% Republican.
No kidding.
It's 37% Democrat. The rest are other parties, whether it be independent, libertarian, Green Party, but it's only 51% Republican. So when everybody says this is an impossible district, no, it's not. This is not an impossible district with the right candidate. And like I said, the candidate we have now, Susan Bozier, is great. She's an absolutely great candidate. By voter registration, we're only 51% Republican, which means we need to get out there and drive the Democratic vote. That's what we need to do.
Oh, it seems like, a similar sort of thing is happening in Texas in the Senate now, right? Where, you got Beto O'Rourke making a big impact. And, it's still pretty long odds for him. So he might not win this race, but it's preparing the ground for some time in the future.
It is. And so much of, it's a big picture you're looking at. Campaigns sometimes aren't about winning the race.
Like that particular election.
Getting messages from. And you can say what you want about Bernie Sanders. He got a message from.
Oh, yeah.
He really made a statement with that campaign. And when you look at the long term, you might lose this particular race, but you build. You build and build and build. And, you get one or two races, maybe you lose by a close margin. Well, maybe a third time, you can get somebody over the hump and flip a district. So this all goes right back to the community building. This is what it goes back to. Getting communities of people organized, getting them together, going out to knock doors, engaging voters. We need to go to the voters. You have to go to the voters. That is, you can't wait for the voters to come to you.
Yeah.
And it's efforts like that in a district like PA15, it's only 51% Republican, guys. We can do it.
That's awesome, Jim. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think community building is the best possible phrase because, the Democrats in McKean County, at least, they don't have a community, as you were saying. They don't know where each other are. Some of them are even registered Republicans. And then that idea of building something, it takes time. It takes a lot of energy. Like you were saying, your very first campaign, you lost. But if you hadn't run that campaign, you probably wouldn't be where you are right now.
Right. No, exactly. Absolutely. And that campaign was great because I met so many other cool people. I found a lot of people who think like I do. I talked with a lot of great people who don't think the way I do. But, to me, that is what it's all about. It's community building, getting to know each other.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to get to know each other, and we've lost so much of the old, the old Mr. Rogers neighborhood aspect. We don't have that anymore, and that's, but I'm telling you, neighborhoods and communities can move mountains, and those are done in at least political communities. They're built campaign after campaign. It doesn't get built in 1 year and one election cycle. It takes time.
It's slow moving, but it's powerful. Yeah. Well, I think we've definitely got a good chance to take the House, but it's not guaranteed. So, the message of this phone call is, if you're watching this,
well, everybody, vote. Seriously, listen. There is an office higher than President Trump. There's an office higher than or a congressman or your senator. There's an office higher than that. The office of citizen.
Yeah.
That is the highest office in this land. And if you don't vote, you fail to execute that office.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you're telling me that you can't be an American citizen for democracy 2 days out of the year, the general election and the primary, but 2 days out of the year, you maybe have to spend a half hour of your life to go and vote. Because, and I'm telling you, and John Fetterman will tell you, I'll bring up, I can show you example after example. One vote matters. One vote counts. Every vote counts. And I would also tell people, if you are interested in the Democratic cause, if you are mad about Donald Trump and the Republicans and this rash of immorality that we have seen in this country to levels that I've never seen, don't just vote, get involved. Get involved. Help, if you like a candidate, if you like a certain candidate, help them. Reach out to their campaign. Knock a few doors for them. If you can't, and if you don't want to go out, if you can't go out, make some phone calls for them. You can write postcards for them. There's so many things you can do for candidates who you agree with and that you would like to see in there. So, yes, absolutely, folks, vote. But I would tell you, do more than that. Get involved.
Start the community building.
Here in Pennsylvania next year in 2019, we have municipal offices coming up. Mayors, town councils, township supervisors, school boards. We have a district attorney. There's a whole bunch of local offices up for race. These matter, folks. These local races matter because, look, you don't pay your property taxes to the federal government. You pay to your county. You pay to your school district. You don't ask the federal government, oh, my ditch is overflowing. You don't get the federal government in on that. You call your township supervisors or your borough council, and it's fixed at that level. So don't just vote. Please vote, but also get involved. Whether you're helping a candidate or you want to be a candidate. Why not you? Why not you? What makes any of these people in office right now any more qualified than you are?
Yeah, it's only ever been us. That's democracy.
That's it. It's democracy. So yes, please vote, everybody. Let's turn it out this year. Let's set records this year. That's what I want to happen this year. I want records set this year. We Democrats, we can win more than we lose, I'm telling you. We can do it. And it all lies in the people going out there to vote, the people who are going out as volunteers to help candidates, and the people who want to be candidates. I'm telling you, it starts with you. It starts with you. You run for local office, like Obama said. Pick up a clipboard. Go run for local office. Go run for your school board. There is nothing that says you're not qualified to be on school board, your township supervisor. Look, the decisions you make in these offices, they're common sense decisions. It's just somebody has to be there to make the decision for the people they represent. That's all. So do it. I'm telling you, folks, please get involved. Get involved with this machine because we need you now more than ever.
So there you have it. Even in deeply red districts, people like my friend Jim are investing their time and energy into getting out the vote. These days, to watch the news, to read the news on Facebook, it's easy to become cynical. It's easy to throw your hands up and think that nothing can be done. But as Jim said, every vote counts. Now, of course, the elections coming up are just the midterms, so even if Democrats do pull off flipping 1 or 2 houses of Congress, it's not going to change everything because the person in the White House is still Donald Trump. But changing Congress will add a little bit of friction to what the president can do and what the president might try to do. And for some of us, that little bit of friction could make all the difference between safety and danger, or even life or death. On a Tuesday morning in August 2017, my wife and I were woken up by this sound. Now that sound is the Japanese emergency broadcast system, and that by itself isn't too strange. Japan is a country that is sitting on top of 3 different continental plates. It's a shaky place. Earthquake alarms are a fact of life. But that morning, whenever I rolled around and checked my phone, I saw this. Let me translate for you. That says, missile launch, missile launch. A missile has been launched from North Korea. Please take refuge in a sturdy building or underground. Now, I'm sure you remember this story from last year. It might have even faded from your memory by now. You might not even be considering it in terms of your 2018 midterm election vote. But I would ask you to. The morning that we saw this alarm, my wife and I were living under this missile. In fact, not just me, but everybody behind me. And not just everybody behind me, but all of their friends, all of their loved ones, all of their children. Now, it's easy to shrug off an event like this because nobody died. But that's not the point. Your vote next week could put a check on the person who didn't consider our safety, didn't consider our well-being when he decided to challenge a totalitarian nuclear state to a pissing match. In fact, it can be so easy to fall into the trap of just focusing on the news of the week in this hurricane that is the Trump administration, that it's easy to even forget about big incidents like what happened in Charlottesville last year. Do you remember that? The President of the United States tried to morally equivocate white supremacists, neo-Nazis, and those who were protesting against him. Now, he walked back those statements, but only under extreme pressure, and he regretted doing it. At any rate, hate groups across the country got his message loud and clear, and they will be voting in the midterms too. And unfortunately, as we saw last week with the domestic terror attacks involving pipe bombs and the mass murder in my hometown of Pittsburgh, some of these people are willing to go much further. Your vote can place a check on this president who doesn't share the ideals of decent people, who, again, white supremacists and neo-Nazis find appealing. And it can place a check on a president who makes promises to secure loyalty, not to strengthen our economy or our national security, or to cultivate a sense of common cause. Your vote next week can help our country fight back towards a kind of normalcy. The kind of normalcy that I need, frankly, in order to move my foreign-born family back home someday and feel welcome and safe. A Democratic majority in Congress isn't going to solve all of our problems, it's just getting started. But it will begin to apply the brakes to an out-of-control administration. On Tuesday, November 6th, we, the American people, have an opportunity to adjust the course of our country, to play a part in saving the United States. Play your part. Get out there and vote. There are links in the description box below to show you where you'll need to go to vote and what you'll need to bring. Thank you very much for watching this video, and thanks to Jim Heckman for helping me create it. Good luck out there.